The hospital room had that sharp, clean smell that gets stuck in your nose. I remember the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the way the blanket felt rough against my palms. My sister-in-law to be had a temper, we all knew that, but none of us knew it could turn into a fist connecting with my face hard enough to snap my head back, then the floor rushing up. Then nothing until I woke up with a nurse leaning over me, 3 stitches above my eye, a cracked rib from where I hit the edge of the counter. The doctor said I was lucky. My phone was dead when I finally got it charged the morning after. One text from my brother, "No, are you okay?" or "What happened?" or even an explanation. "Just stay away from us." I read it 6 times. Then I typed back one word, "Don't." That was Tuesday. Thursday morning, I drove to the bank. I'd agreed to be guarantor on their mortgage 6 months earlier, when they found the place with the big backyard and the kitchen my brother said his fiancée had always dreamed of. They'd put down $40,000 of their savings, their entire future compressed into a down payment. I'd signed the paperwork without really thinking about it because he was my brother and that's what brothers do. The loan officer, Mrs. Delgado, was a small woman with reading glasses on a chain around her neck. She knew me by name. We'd sat in her office twice before, going over terms, me nodding along while my brother and his fiancée held hands across the chairs. "I need to remove myself as guarantor," I said. She looked at me over her glasses. Her office was quiet except for the hum of a computer and the distant sound of a teller's drawer sliding open. "Are you sure? This will invalidate the current approval. They'll have to reapply under their own income alone." "I'm sure." She waited a moment, the kind of pause that gives you room to change your mind. I didn't change my mind. I signed the form. My signature looked the same as it always did. No shake, no hesitation. Just ink on paper. "You need to inform them directly," she said. "The bank will send a letter, but I'll handle it." I didn't handle it. I went home and sat on my couch and watched the afternoon light move across the wall and thought about nothing at all. The voicemail came 3 days later. My brother's voice, tight and wrong, like he was speaking through something clenched. The bank called. They said, "You pulled out. We're going to lose the deposit. $40,000 gone. We're going to lose the house. Call me." I didn't call. He called again that night. Then his fiancée called from a number I didn't recognize. Then my mother called, her voice confused and worried, asking what was going on. Why was everyone so upset? What happened between you two? I told her I didn't want to talk about it. She said, "He's your brother." I said, "I know." The loan denial letter arrived at their address on a Tuesday. I know this because my brother showed up at my apartment that evening, pounding on the door until the neighbor across the hall opened her door a crack, then closed it again. He looked different, smaller somehow, or maybe just diminished, the way people look when something they've built collapses. "Open the door?" I opened it. "You cost us the house?" I leaned against the door frame. The hallway had that old building smell. Dust and radiator heat and someone's dinner cooking 2 floors down. I removed myself as guarantor. "That's all. She hit you, okay? She has anger issues. She's getting help, but you didn't have to destroy us over it." I looked at him, really looked. His eyes were red at the edges, his hands opening and closing at his sides like they wanted to grab something. "I was in the ER," I said. "You told me to stay away." She was scared. I was scared. We panicked. I thought about the text, the way it arrived while I was still dizzy from the fall, still trying to remember exactly what happened, still waiting for someone to ask if I was all right. I replied. I said, "Don't." That's what I did. He stood there for a long moment. Then he said, quietly, "She's devastated. We both are." I didn't have anything to add to that. He left. I closed the door. The apartment was quiet except for the refrigerator kicking on, that familiar hum I'd heard 1,000 times before. I stood in the hallway for a while, not moving, not thinking, just standing there in the dark. The money never came back. The house went to someone else. My brother and his fiancée stayed together, I heard, but they rented now a smaller place on the other side of town. My mother stopped asking me about it after a while. She called less often, and when she did, we talked about the weather, her garden, things that didn't matter. Sometimes I wonder if I should have called, not to fix it, just to say something. But I don't know what I would have said, and the longer I wait, the harder it gets, and somewhere along the way it became easier to just keep not saying anything at all. The scar above my eye faded to a thin white line. You can barely see it now, but I know it's there when I catch my reflection in a dark window, or when I'm shaving in the morning and the light hits a certain way. I see it, and I remember. That's all. I just remember.